Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Okay, it is Thursday, and all of our guests on this particular Thursday are sponsored by Passant Motors. That includes Farhan standing by. Gas prices driving you crazy? No kidding. At Passant Motors, with your next purchase, get up to a $1,000 gas card. Learn more at PassantMotors.com. That's BASANT Motorsrick.com.
Can I get this in? If there was no Terminator, there would be no RoboCop. Terminator was the Bobby Orr of dark edge sci-fi.
I can't remember which movie was first.
It was like
we'll look it up.
Terminator, all day long.
Okay, we'll look it up. Okay, let's bring in Farhan Lalji from TSN. How are you, sir?
Good. I'm with Rick. Terminator all day long, buddy.
Okay. No, and I didn't say Terminator was a bad movie.
Yeah.
I just said I preferred RoboCop.
Your call.
Predator, also very good. Another Schwarzenegger movie from the 80s.
Oh, that was really good.
Hey, Farhan, before we get into the hockey, the Shrum Bowl, what's happening? Is this announcement out there right now?
Yeah, it sounds like that's the way things are headed. You know, I can't give it away, but,
it's out there. Everybody's tweeting it.
I'm wearing my SFU colors for a reason, and looking forward to December 2nd. Whatever happens to be happening that day. Should be a lot of fun.
Okay, well, you tweeted it out last night, so I thought maybe you'd have the announcement for us this morning. You didn't tweet that out last night. You teased it. So I thought maybe you'd have something for us tonight.
I alluded to it. Listen, our good friend, David Pratt, good friend of all of ours, used to always say pretty much in every stand-up or in his end of the story editorial, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to do the math.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, how about this? We don't know we don't know if it's official yet, but how much has local football, amateur football, missed the Shrum Bowl?
I think they've missed it a great deal. I think it was always a signature event on the football calendar for football fans. And I remember going back, to the late 80s when Julio Caravata and Orville Lee and Sean Millington were participants in the game. And, the campuses were completely energized by it, right? Mm-hmm. And, UBC's done a pretty good job of getting its campus involved in different events in the last few years. Their homecoming game is generally quite well attended. Their playoff games are well attended. SFU finally has a new stadium on campus. So, I think a lot of the stars are really aligning to make this a great event again. I mean, it always was good. The stadiums were always full. The campuses were engaged. The beer was flowing. The tailgate parties were happening. Like, all of it was good. Truthfully, I thought there should have been a time when the Lions made it a part of their season ticket package and put it at BC Place, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure that's I'm not sure that's necessarily the right thing, because you're better off in a smaller stadium with a great atmosphere than you would be at BC Place. But I think that it could head in that direction, that it could be the 10th game on the package, and everybody would have a reason to go. And there's a lot of alumni out there that are connected to both schools, both football programs, people that are involved in the BC Lions organization as well. But it's a win, and it's about time this game got brought back. UBC's been ducking us for a number of years, Donnie. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, and you hashtagged the BC Lions in your tease yesterday, so maybe there will be some Lions involvement. We'll see about that later. All right, I know you've talked with the Lions' new Chief Operating Officer, Dwayne Venue. I think I'm getting that name right.
Yep.
He will eventually replace Rick LaLacheur as team president. What are your impressions of the new boss?
So far, so good, right? He's got a really good background. He understands the league really well. He's been involved in professional sports at that level, right, where you're not necessarily on the day-to-day sport operation, but just in terms of big picture and trying to make things successful as an organization, as an event, all of that. He wants to follow up Amar Doman as far as making things very event-driven, which I think is really important. And he understands how to do that, being on the Grey Cup event committee. And he talked about that week one game as a Grey Cup type of feel to the event. So, look, I think it's good. I think it's a good transition for where the organization needs to go. One of the reasons Rick LaLacheur stayed as long as he did was to shepherd the sale of the team, which obviously he did a very good job in terms of finding the right buyer in Amar Doman, and now having a transition here. So far, Mr. Venue says all the right things. He's got the right background, and right level of energy, and I think it's going to be a good thing for the organization.
Okay, let's get going here. Lions and the Argos. BC plays Saturday, the bye week. The momentum was kind of killed, Farhan, but what do you expect this weekend from the Lions?
Well, from a fan standpoint, you'll love this. In Toronto today at practice, they were actually practicing with crowd noise because they're anticipating crowd noise in Vancouver. That was the impression that week one game made. So could you imagine, like usually you go to the Lions facility and they're playing Saskatchewan that week and they get the crowd noise going. Nobody does that for a game in Vancouver. Well, yeah, they're doing it now. So that's good.
Hey, hold it. They did that back in the 80s. For all those Western
that's
fighters.
What he's saying.
I know. Yeah.
Right around the time RoboCop came out.
RoboCop came out. Terminator
we'll
84.
Get to that later.
RoboCop 87. I'm trying to help you out here. Anyways, so what kind of crowd are you expecting, Farhan, Saturday?
I think it's going to be in the low 20,000s. I was hoping they could get right to that 25 number to potentially sell out the lower bowl. And, you never know, and I say this not because I'm trying to be pie in the sky, but when you look at how the last game went, it was really the last 3 or 4 days where they probably sold 8,000 tickets, right? Because all of a sudden there was an announcement that the upper bowl would be open, that the roof would be open, and so on. Now you're getting great weather for the back end of this week, and I'm hoping that some momentum builds around it. Lions are in the news a little bit here with the president, with the Shrum Bowl announcement today at the Lions facility, some personnel moves, things like that. So hopefully some energy can go in the last 3 or 4 days and they can get closer to that 24, 25 number. But, and that's what I think the target should be for this season. It's not going to be 34,000 weekly, but if they can get to 24, 25, I think that's a huge win. And I think it'll probably be low 20s for this game.
That's massive. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, last year they were looking at 12, 15, 14. This is really good news for the BC Lions franchise. Okay, you put out a video on your Twitter account of Nathan Rourke working out after practice. I thought it was cool. I thought it was great. This is a guy right here. Look at this. Everyone's in the dressing room. They're in the hot tub or they're getting over practice. Look at this guy.
Watching RoboCop.
Watching RoboCop, Terminator, deciding which one to watch. And look at this guy, Canadian quarterback. I love this guy. I'm going to tell you right now, Farhan, I'm wishing this guy does really, really, really good things.
Yeah, and you're not alone, Rick, right? I think there's people across the league that are cheering for Nathan Rourke to change the narrative around Canadian quarterbacks. And, we've talked about it before. His resume is what American quarterbacks have when they come into this league, right? He played Division I football, and, he certainly has been trained really well, does some great work. But, you look at that, and people from the Lions organization tweeted back and said, look, since training camp, right? Like every single day, going back to last year, this is what this guy does at the end of practice. Last week, everybody gone home during their bye week, hanging out, spending time with the family. What was Nathan Rourke doing? He was working with Rob Williams out in North Van on his craft, trying to get better. And now, look, Nathan's not married. He doesn't have kids. It changes as you get a little bit older. But in terms of his commitment level to all of this, it was a really good article that you'll see on tsn.ca today that Dave Naylor wrote about the situation. And, Rick Campbell never felt like he was taking a leap of faith with Nathan Rourke, that he was gambling. He knew that this was the guy that he wanted to build it around, and he's got the complete faith from the organization. That opportunity young quarterbacks need is before Nathan, and I think he's doing all the right things.
Yeah. Okay, before I let you go, Farhan, some hockey, Nazem Kadri, should that goal have counted?
No, it shouldn't have, and that should be reviewable. And I can imagine this summer that's going to be on the things that gets changed at the Board of Governors meetings where they'll put that in and say, that's subject to review because it's kind of black and white, right? If that many guys are on the ice, how close they are to the bench. Kadri came on. He was the extra player that came on, and McKinnon hadn't gone off yet. It was 5 seconds before he got off the ice. No, it should not have counted.
All right.
Donnie, you got to get this in because it's in the Delaney's OK Turn Langley.
That means you got to get it in.
Why did the BC Lions cut a linebacker, Mika Awe, today?
Micah Awe got cut just primarily because of the ratio. He came because he wanted to start. And even though he understood that the Lions would have two really good Canadian linebackers, he thought he could kind of rotate in and eventually earn it by his play. That wasn't going to be there for him. So both sides decided it was the best thing for them to part. They didn't want to lose him.
Okay.
All right. We'll find out about that announcement later today. Farhan, all the best. Thanks as always. There you go.
All right. Go SFU.